the 25th of April, 2026, Saturday morning. We are in Chapter 5 of the Common Buddhist Text, Guidance and Insight from the Buddha, the Chief Editor, Dr. Maha Dhammakosachan. Chapter 5 is from the perspective of the Theravada tradition, the Mahayana tradition, and the Vajrayana. But we're going to go from stage to stage. Chapter 5 on Human Life, Theravada Tradition, page 222. The cycle of rebirths, saṃsāra vata. The idea of all beings as wandering from rebirth to rebirth as determined by mental orientation and ethical quality of their action karma is fundamentally to Buddhism. Passage explains how the Buddha is seen to have directly remembered many of his past lives and seen how beings are reborn according to the karma. This was on the night of Gautama's awakening. After concentrating calmly his mind to the state of profound stillness and sensitivity. Theravada tradition, chapter 5 on human life. An ultimate beginning is not discernible. This passage introduces the ideas of saṃsāra, the cycle of rebirths through which beings have been wandering on, accompanied by the spiritual ignorance, not a lack of information, but a misperception of the nature of reality, and craving which fuels this process. With no known beginning to all of this, Buddhism thus lacks any idea of the ultimate creation of the universe and beings. Bhikkhu monks. This cycle of wandering on is without a discoverable beginning, of living beings running around and wandering around in the cycle. A first beginning is not discerned. Just as a bhikkhu monk, a man is in this Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa represents the Indian subcontinent and the world at large. Just as this man, Jambudvipa, cuts the grass, sticks, branches, and foliage, and having brought it together, carries it away, making it into bundles of 4 inches. Saying successively, this represents my mother. This pile, this is my mother's mother's pile. The mothers of that person would not come to the end, even though that grass, stick, branches, and foliage of this subcontinent became exhausted and came to an end. What is this reason for this? It is because this cycle of wandering on is without a knowing beginning. The first beginning of this of beings that wander around hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving is not evident. Thus, for a long time, bhikkhu monks, you have experienced severe suffering, dukkha, experienced disaster, increased instances of death, so much so that it is appropriate to disenchanted with, unattached to, and liberated from all conditioned things. This can be cited in the Dinakata Sutra Samyutta Nikaya. The reality of rebirth in karma. This passage emphasizes the error and danger of denying a future life, that how one is reborn depends on one's conduct, and that the awakened directly know the truth of such matters. Now, upasiko opusika, householders, laymen, laywomen, of those renunciants and Brahmins with this doctrine in view, there is no worth in a gift, an offering, or a self-sacrifice. There is no fruit or ripening of actions of karma, well done or ill done. There is no to this world, no further world. The world is unreal, and one does not go to another world after death. There is no mother, no father. There is no worth in respecting one's parents, those who establish one in this world. There are no spontaneously arising beings. There are no worlds of rebirth in which certain kinds of heavenly beings come into existence without parents. There in this no world, no renunciants, no Brahmins who are faring rightly, practicing rightly, and who practice this world and the world beyond, having realized them by their own higher knowledge. Spiritual development is not possible. People cannot come to have direct, concentrative knowledge of rebirth into the variety of kinds of world. Of them it is to be expected that there will be avoid these three wholesome things: good conduct of body, good conduct of speech, and good conduct of mind. That they will practice these three unwholesome things: bad conduct of body, bad conduct of speech, and bad conduct of mind. Why so? Because these honorable renunciants and Brahmins do not see the danger, degradation, and defilements of unwholesome states, nor do they see in wholesome state the advantage of these transcendent sensual desires and the aspects of cleansing. Because there actually is a further world, a view of one who thinks there is no further world, he is in wrong view, micha titi, because there is actually a further world. When he is resolved that there is no further world, that is the wrong resolve. This can be cited in the Apanyaka Sutra, Majjhima Nikaya. Believing in rebirth and karma is a best bet. While rebirth and karma are seen as realities confirmed by Gautama Buddha, unless a person has also directly confirmed their existence, they remain for them just beliefs. This passage argues that such beliefs brings benefits whether or not one has experienced the knowledge of their truth. When Kamalas, the disciple of the noble ones, has thus made this mind free of enmity, free of ill will, undefiled and pure, he has won 4 assurance in this very life. The first assurance he has won is this: if there is a further world, and if there is a fruit ripening of well done and ill done deeds, it is possible that with the dissolution of the body after death, I shall arise in a good destination in the heavenly world. The second assurance is he has won, and this is: if there is no further world, and if there is no fruit ripening of well done ill will deeds, still right here in this very life, I will live happily, free from enmity and ill will. The third assurance he has won is this: suppose evil befalls the evildoer, and as I do not intend evil for anyone, how can suffering afflict me, one who does no evil deed? The fourth assurance he has won is this: suppose evil does not befall the evildoer, then right here I see myself purified in both respects, neither doing evil nor experiencing any evil results. This can be cited in the Kesaputra, Kamala Sutra, Angura Traya Nikaya. The main rebirth realms. This passage briefly enumerates the 5 main kinds of rebirths, through a 6 as asuras or demigods is sometimes added. And what Bhikkhu monks is diversely the action of karma. This is action whose fruit is to be expected or experienced in hells, or in the animal realm, or in the sphere of ghosts, or in the human world, or as gods in the heavens. And what Bhikkhu monks is the ripening of action. Action, I say, has threefold ripening in this life, in the next life, and subsequently. This can be cited in the Nipedika Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya. Precious human birth. Rebirth as a human as a rare opportunity. In this passage, it is affirmed that many more beings are reborn other than that of a human level, such that heedfulness of the nature of one's action is vital. Of course, the number of land animals, birds, fish, and insects greatly outnumber the human population of our planet. The blessed Gautama Buddha took a little bit of soil with the tip of his fingernail and addressed the monks. Bhikkhu monks, which is more? The little bit of soil I have taken with the tip of my fingernail, or the great earth. Compared with the great earth, the little soil of the blessed Gautama took with his tip of his fingernail is not even the minutest part. In the same way, Bhikkhu monks, it is only a few living beings who are reborn among human beings, whereas a much larger number of living beings are reborn in other than human beings. Therefore, Bhikkhu monks, you should train yourself thus. We shall live heedfully. This can be cited in the Nakasika Sutra, Samyutta Nikaya. Being born a human who can hear the Dhamma is rare. This passage makes clear a distinction that to be reborn as a human being, especially when teaching of Gautama Buddha is available, is rare, precious, and a precious opportunity. Humans have greater freedom of action than those in the lower rebirths, and the mental capacity to be able to fathom the Dhamma. Difficult is to attain the human state. Difficult is the life of mortals. Difficult is to come to hear the good Dhamma. Difficult is the Buddha to arise. This can be cited from the Dhammapada, verse 182. Remember, one of life is short, so practice now while you can. As a great flood sweeps away a sleeping village, death carries away a person of distracted mind, so who is only concerned with life's flowers. This can be cited in the Dhammapada, verse 49. Our world and in the next of the universe. Clusters of the worlds throughout the universe. This passage shows that Theravada Buddhism has never seen our world as only the physical world, or at the center of the universe. It is seen as part of a thousandfold cluster of worlds, with the thousands of these clusters forming a higher level galactic cluster, and the thousand of these galactic clusters forming a higher yield level supergalactic cluster. Gautama Buddha is not seen to have created any world, but he is seen to be able to contact beings through this third level. Each of the individual worlds refer to have their own beings, included their own set of heavens. Ananta, 1,000 times the world in which the sun and the moon revolve and illuminate the directions and their brightness. This is called the thousandfold minor world systems. There, 1,000 moons, 1,000 suns, 1,000 kingly central mountains, 1,000 set of 4 continents, and 1,004 great oceans. the thousands of each of these heavens of the 4 guardian gods, the 33 gods, Yama, the contented delighters in creating, controllers of others' creations in the Brahma worlds, Ananda, 1,000 times the minor world system. This is called 1,000 to the second order, middling world system. Ananda, 1,000 times 1,000 to the second order, middling world system. This is called the 1,000 to the third order, great world system. Ananda, Tataka Kata, having gone, having transcended, can convey this radiance and then voice as far as he wants within this. This can be decided in the Abhibhu Sutra Anguttara Nikaya. The cycles of cosmic eons. It is said that the world goes through 4 huge phases, coming to an end, remaining dissolved, developing again, and remaining, till again coming to an end. These 4 make up an eon. This passage below illustrates the huge lengths of an eon and the incalculable number that have passed, during which beings wander from saṃsāra vata, rebirth to rebirth. Suppose a Bhikkhu monk. There is a great stone mountain 7 miles long, 7 miles wide, 7 miles high, one solid mass of rock. At the end of every century, a man would stroke it once with a piece of fine cloth. That huge stone mountain might be worn down and eliminated by his action, but an eon would not yet come to an end. So long as an eon, Bhikkhu monk, and of the eons of such a length, we have from the life to life wandering through so many hundred, thousands and hundreds of thousands of eons. This can be cited Bhagavata Sutra, Samyutta Nikaya. Karma. The idea of karma in Theravada Buddhism is that intentional action naturally produces certain results. Good actions lead to pleasant results, and good character traits. Bad ones is unpleasant results and bad character traits. The results are not rewards or punishments, as there is not seen to be any God handing out the results to these rewards. Nor are the results set up as a lesson to learn. Though a person may hopefully develop insight by reflecting on life's events as possible results of prior behavior, karmic results are seen simply as natural results, arising from a kind of law of nature, causes and condition. A common simile is that a karma is like a seed, and its results are like the fruits that develop from that seed. A term for a good action and its potency to bring good karmic fruits is punya, often translated as meritorious actions or merit. This, however, suggests karma results are some merited or deserved reward rather than natural results. Hence, punya is better translated as karmically beneficial action and karmic benefit or karmic fruitlessness. Now, the karma is volition, or in short terms, is intentional action. In Theravada Buddhism, things which happen to one are not karma, but they may be the consequences of previous bad or good intentional action done by one. The nature of the action is seen to reside in the volition or the intention that expressed in that action. And actions include not only overt ones of body, speech, but also sustained thought. Now, it's good to note that the sustained thought is the most powerful. People might think the body and the speech are more powerful, but realistically, the thought form is the most powerful part of it, of your intention, is your thought form. From a perspective of psychology, we're going to say the emotional, the mental, the psychological, and then the physical aspect. These are 4 bodies. And so the mental and the psychological is very powerful because it controls the emotional field. But remember, it's emotional, mental, psychological, then the physical. It's good to know that. It is volition, intention, Bhikkhu monks, that I call karma. Having willed, one performs an action by body. Having willed, one performs action by speech. Having willed, one performs action by mind. This can be cited in the Nipitaka Sutra Anguttara Nikaya. We're going to leave off of there, and we'll pick up on the next one on your bad action will catch up with you sooner or later. Chapter 5 on human life, Theravada tradition, in the middle of the page. This is a common Buddhist text, guidance and insight from the Buddha, Chief Editor, Dr. Maha Dhamma Kosajan.